Hey, welcome to the Virtually Speaking podcast, VMware Explore 2025 coverage. John, have you been studying? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Have you been taking any classes since you've been here? What have you been doing all week?
I've been looking over notes. I've probably been slacking, but no, I'm going to try to dive the test on Thursday is my plan. So.
Are you going to see if you can get a certification while you're here?
We're going to see. So
you might. All right. Well, you're in luck, Mr. Segway, because we've got a great guest here that's going to talk a lot about what's changed in the world of certifications for VMware. It is our good friend, Mr. Drew Nielsen. Drew, welcome to Virtually Speaking.
Great to be here.
Yeah, longtime friends, first time caller.
Yeah, first time on.
Yeah, man, glad to see you.
After 5 years, 6 years. It's been a minute.
Yeah, no, it's been good, man. So listen, lots have changed, obviously, in general with VMware by Broadcom, and certainly certifications is certainly no exception. So why don't we just start from the beginning? Like, where was it and what has changed?
Yeah, let's, the way I describe it to a lot of people is like post-acquisition. When we were acquired, if you look at where the program was, we had hundreds of certifications. We had 2,000 pieces of curriculum all over the map. And also at that same time, we're like, okay, we gotta rationalize this.
Yeah.
And then more importantly, the first year we really kind of organized a lot of stuff. And we said, okay, let's standardize on pricing. So all the exams were like $250 flat out. The second piece of that was we said, look, there's no more training requirement. So if you want to go, you think you're good enough to go take an exam, go take one anytime, anywhere.
That's that was the thing for me that I wanted to take my VCP, but I couldn't get the thousands of dollars for the class.
Exactly.
And by the time I finally found a way at a Fandangle, a class pass and get somebody to pay for it and all that, I kind of already should have taken that test 2 years before, and my trainer was amazing, but I was at a position where I probably should have been teaching a class. It was it was so delayed, and I feel like we were cutting so many early career professionals out that if you didn't have somebody who's willing to spend thousands of dollars at that moment, and that's kind of a hard thing to ask someone to pay out of pocket.
Oh, it is, yeah, especially if you're just starting into the technology.
Exactly.
And we really looked at how do you democratize the certification process. And then after, 25 was very much how do we really streamline this and say, okay, let's get the roles down that apply to the certifications, but also, how do we just make this simpler?
Yeah.
And we came to a point where we said, all right, we had 5 tracks. There was VCTA, VCP, VCAP, VCDX, and I'm missing one I know off the top of my head. And we just said, look, we're going to simplify this into 3 roles. Our implementers are our admins, our architects, and our support professionals. And we're going to have content that is role specific for everybody who's using the overall platform. And the other thing that we said is look, the content that we use internally to train ourselves, we're going to give that to our customers.
So rather than have a parallel TSE training organization that was doing its own, and they produced amazing content. And I was like, why isn't this public facing? And also, specifically on the storage, a lot of that stuff was done with an Irish accent, like the Cork team would do. I was like, this is lovely to listen to. I'd rather listen to this than me. So, but there was a challenge also when you talk about the sheer number of collateral pieces of all these tracks. I mean, how was keeping that current? Because I remember taking a class.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was a lot of work. And I think, Broadcom brought a lot of clarity to VMware.
Absolutely.
In its simplification. And we just said, look, let's make sure the content that we produce has applicability to the message we give to our customers, the training we give to our customers, and also relative to our certification.
Well, and I've noticed the speed of the updates have been actually it's shipping current with new versions. And that was something I remember taking a class that was 2 versions behind, and I was learning about the transfer service that had been deprecated.
You're
this is many years ago, but
No, what was the big thing? We'd release an exam, and a class would follow in 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, yeah.
So
there was a once-a-year window where it was waterfall. We would open, redo that. And
exactly.
Yeah, that could be challenging if you've got a new version but you can't get certified on it. What are you going to do? You're not very motivated to take the old certification.
Or you'd get certified on the old one, but you wouldn't know about the new features, so it was struggling to implement. You created a vicious reverse chicken egg cycle.
And to your point, I remember taking some certifications exams early on, and that was the thing. There's so many, it was almost confusing. What do I need to take? What version do I need?
Or you'd have combinations of thereof, mix this, match that, get this.
Right. I was afraid I was going to go through the whole wrong track at one point, but yeah. And to your point, Hawk simplified everything. Like he literally simplified our org structure, simplified the actual product, and there's been so many. It's like a ripple effect of benefits, certainly, and education is also part of that. So yeah, why don't we talk about like what the major changes are specifically to certifications, like we've been covering? Are there any other things that we need to know about?
Really, it's gone role specific. That's the big change that we have. And it's very platform focused.
And it's all VCF focused.
It's platform focused. I would say 98% VCF.
Okay.
And obviously we have a couple of VVF classes in there as well.
Okay.
But really, it is a platform change from a product change. So if you used to look at the various tracks, there was the virtualization track, there was a networking track,
desktop technologies,
track, storage track.
Yeah.
Everybody had a track.
Yeah.
And that does not work on a platform play.
And there was like a weird hybrid to it, because like a third of my questions would be about VDI and 2/3 would be about like resource groups, and it was like kind of install, configure, manage focus, but there'd be a little bit of day two. It was all blurred together.
Yeah. It was. And so that's simplified out a lot, and we treat it like a platform and go from there.
Yeah. And so we're here at Explore, and I'm sure there's been, you've seen all the announcements today. Is there anything related to training that we've made any announcements?
So we launched 5 new exams this week.
Okay.
So 5 new VCPs. So those were the Implement VCF and VVF, the Architect VCF exam, and then Support VVF and VCF. And so we've made a conscious decision to say, look, we're not going to do an Architect exam for VVF because we want people building on VCF. But every other one has its own complement. And, we've been, the Cert Lounge has been going. I think we're up to 500 registrations already this week.
Wow.
Which is 5x over what we had last year at Explore Las Vegas. And I would say 99% of the exams right now are all VCF.
Wow. And so did I get you right that you said that we have the same training for internal as we do for external? Wow, that's pretty powerful. So what are the exams that are coming out specifically?
So this week right now, we did, like I said, Implement, Architect, and Support for VCF, and then Implement and Support for VVF.
All right. Did you write that down? Because I need you to start taking some exams.
All right, I think
it's
I'm going to
take exams.
I think I'll take a swing at the Architect. We'll see where we go.
It's 5 exams.
Pete needs to support my lab though, so he's going to be going to the support track.
No, I understand that. I would wear your hat when you take the exam.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. That would probably keep you.
I don't have my lucky
support.
exam hat. That is problematic.
Yeah, you should probably wait until you have the hat. Drew, thank you so much for joining us on Virtually Speaking. Open door policy, man. Please come back and join us.
All right. Thank you.
All right.